Hello, welcome back to the Burbs. It's me, Colin, your favorite idiot. So today we're gonna work on this. What is this? This is a barberry that reseeded itself in my garden back in Rosendale. And last spring, I think it was, I finally dug it up. Don't you want to do this with me? Because this thing is super prickly. Fall down. Ready? We'll push together. Don't lean into the bush either. Doing good.
Good. We're digging up the thorn bush. Yes, it's spiky.
Okay, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Let's just walk.
I don't know if these things flood back. Watch this foliage. I don't want to kill it. Chop it.
We're chopping it now.
It worked out fine, and it's very healthy, and it's very vigorous, and it's one of the few plants that didn't get just wrecked by the mouse this winter time. So it needs its first very rough styling. So that's what we're going to do today. We're not going to repot it. We're just going to give it a very rough chop. Try to establish the main trunk line, maybe a branch or two, but really just turn this thing from a shrub into a pre-bonsai. Okay, stick around. Okay, so I've been looking at this for a few minutes, and I think what we're gonna do is choose this as the trunk line. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. I think the best sort of taper is going to go from big old fat base to this thing, and then keep one or two of these top branches as the leader, if you could even see what I'm talking about. It gives a little bit of movement, and it gives decent taper. So let's go ahead and just do that. Now, if you've never worked with barberries before, there's two cool things about them. One, they bleed yellow. And two, they really hurt your fingers with their, I should really be wearing gloves, with their horrible little spikes. That's a nice looking chunk. I'm just gonna remove these suckers at the bottom here. Ouchie. Now there is this. Again, this is the main trunk that we're after. So we're just gonna get rid of everything else. I don't want a two-trunk situation. I don't want a multi-trunk situation. I just want to simplify it, get the one trunk going on, which means that guy's gotta go. There's a dead bit here that has to go. These are big old knob cutters, by the way. Maybe not the best things to be using. And then I've got to get rid of this guy here. So again, keeping this line here, getting rid of that back there. So let's see. Okay, now I think it's just a matter of cleaning up all that junk at the bottom there. So all these little knobbly bobblies, we're gonna just try to smooth this out and nibble away at it. I kind of like gnarly nobbledy bobbledy stuff, so I don't mind all the scarring that's going to result from this very rough pruning here. Yeah, let's just whack this thing real bad. Trying to avoid inverse taper down the road. I'd rather have scars than inverse taper. Well, that might be more than enough. I feel like the only thing worse would be if the mouse came and started messing around with this guy. Yeah, I think that's how we're gonna leave it for now. This sticks out a little bit here, but I think that's okay. If I mess with it too much, it's just gonna, well, I've already messed with it, haven't I? Yep, gone. It's gonna say, it's just gonna scar over and make it even more bulgy. Not usually my problem. I usually don't bulge enough, but let's just get rid of these little guys down here. And there's a little guy you can't see at the base here. All right. Otherwise, nice. I think that's pretty good to get our main trunk line. Maybe the front is something like that. Now, this section here is going to be a little too straight, but that is okay. I think that's okay. Okay, so then the question is, do we keep anything? Sorry, this is what happens when you move under an airport. What is our first branch, if any? What is our trunk line? Do we keep only this as our trunk line? Do we keep two things? Maybe one is the main trunk line and one is the first branch. I know we're not going to do anything more than that, so I know right now what I can do is get rid of everything except for those two things. I'm gonna cut it right there. No. Okay, that was kind of a mess. So now you can imagine this potentially being first branch, this being the main leader, the main trunk line. And I may leave it at that. I could take off this and only keep this as the main trunk line, as the main leader, knowing that this thing backbuds pretty easily. Already in my experience, it's already done that. So that could be one way to go. But I think today we're just gonna leave it at this. Could always do that later. We can't put it back after. All right, I think that's it. Barberry #1 mouse survivor from Roslindale, Massachusetts, now resident of Westwood, Massachusetts. All right, welcome back. It has been over a year. It is now July 1st. I'm sorry, it is June 1st, 2024. We're sitting in the dappled light of the red maple. Everything's leafed out, and this thing has gone crazy, as you can see. So we're going to cut it back yet again to where we want it to be. Just do some whacking away. Hopefully you can see it in this bad light. So I was looking at that little sketch that I made of the tree, and I realized that I had included a first branch down over here somewhere that I didn't include in the first round of pruning. So I'm going to keep one of these suckers here. I think I'm going to keep this one. This is a nice outside curve here. I don't know if you can even see what I'm doing. Let's just get these guys out of the way first, and then we'll cut them back shorter. Yeah, so this is going to be my first branch. It's on the nice outside of a curve. So we'll cut this one off. Ow. And then I think we're going to reduce it back. So like, I don't know, maybe to this bud here and see what happens when it buds back, hopefully. Because this is a really vigorous suckering looking branch, so maybe that'll slow it down. All right, so that'll be our first branch, and then we get rid of the other suckers. These are coming off nice and easy here. That's good. Let's expose a little bit more of that trunk there. We got a big root right there. That's kind of cool. And then we'll just come in with the knob cutters and just kind of get rid of that. This guy must be coming right off that root, so we'll cut him as close as we can as well. Yep, well, that's a big root right there. All right. And then as for the rest of the branches, I mean, basically what's going to happen is this is first branch. This will somehow be second branch. I think maybe we'll keep that as a back branch, and then this is going to be the leader here. So I'm not going to cut this, but I am going to prune the rest to an outside facing bud. So like this guy right here, that's essentially an outside facing bud right there. I could go back farther, but I'm just kind of being a little cautious. I'll leave a couple on there. We'll just cut that back to this bud here. And then this back branch, same thing. This is a pretty good looking bud facing the back right here. So we'll cut back to that guy. All right, and then we'll let this guy grow to heal up all those chops and just to thicken up, and then we'll chop him down the road. All right, here's where we ended up. I think something like that is the front. Oops. All right. Is that right? Yeah. I'll be back when I have something more to show you.